This is a 4029 Get Ready Weather Alert.
Okay, folks, this is really becoming a dangerous situation. We've been telling you about this all morning, and it's just getting worse. We're getting reports of a lot of flooding going on in Rogers right now, Oak Hill Drive. We know that we've got flooding going on right now just to the west of Cave Springs, the Highway 264 as you get out toward the airport. We have got flooding going on there. If you're trying to get out and about in northwest Arkansas, Benton or Washington County right now, you are going to hit flooded roads at some point. And we know people are trying to drive through these. People are getting stuck. We just got a report from the Rogers Police Department. 3 water rescues are going on right now. People trying to get through flooded roads. We've got reports on Oak Hill Drive of water coming up to homes. We've got reports of that in Elkins. We've gotten reports of that all over the 4029 viewing area. We know earlier we had evacuations going on in McDonald County. We also know that on the Illinois River, we're going to be seeing that river crest, all right, near record levels as we go into throughout the rest of the weekend. And we're going to see more rain. Let's zoom in here. Again, we've got a pretty nasty storm moving through Sebastian County right now. We're watching that one. Not severe, and the flooding concern not quite as bad for us in the River Valley, though it's getting worse in Sequoia County, and it's about to get a lot worse for us in Sebastian County around Fort Smith, Van Buren, and Alma. But let's zoom in here on Benton and Washington County. And again, we've just gotten a ton more rain, and the rain just keeps coming right up I-49, Fayetteville, Springdale, Lowell, Johnson, Bentonville. Right around the Cave Springs area up toward Pea Ridge. We're getting reports of flooding all throughout this area. Take it seriously. Get to higher ground if you need to immediately, but do not drive through flooded roads to do that. And again, if you're out and about this afternoon, stay away from those roads, those flooded roads. Keep it tuned to 4029. We'll keep you updated.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Allison Wise. Severe flooding causing a major problem today.
And I'm Joshua Cole. Let's go straight over to 4029 Chief Meteorologist Darby Bybee tonight to get an update on the conditions. Darby?
Yeah, and this is going to become a truly historic flood across northwest Arkansas. We're going to get to the flooding in a second. We do have a new severe thunderstorm watch that's been issued for much of northwest Arkansas through the River Valley. This goes until 10 p.m. Some of these storms still could build into storms that could produce some stronger winds and occasionally some larger hail. You can see a severe thunderstorm warning now in Washington County, another one here in southwest Sequoia County, all of northwest Arkansas, and almost all of the River Valley in flash flood warnings. We haven't seen a lot of rain yet in Fort Smith, but we're going to be getting a lot of rain later on tonight. And we're getting that rain again pushing off to the north and east through northwest Arkansas. Here's the new severe thunderstorm warning till 6:15 for Washington County. Primary concern is wind and hail with this storm as it passes through Fayetteville, likely through Tawnytown, Springdale, some hail. Occasionally some penny, maybe nickel size, even quarter size hail with this, continuing toward the Rogers area and Lowell as well, where we don't need any more rain, obviously. Winds being estimated right now between 30 and 50 miles per hour, so definitely a lot of gusts out there, could blow things around. Look at these rainfall totals, though. You can see last 24 hours, 6 to 10 inches of rain across Benton and McDonald County. Last 3 hours alone, though, 3 to 4 inches of rain in Benton and Washington County. And so these areas from Rogers to Springdale to Fayetteville, where we're getting more rain just training over the same areas, this is going to make the situation much, much worse. We can see more storms starting to form across the River Valley to the south of this. Not a lot of activity again in Fort Smith just yet, but we're going to get a lot of it. As you can see, a line behind this. All of this will make its way into northwest Arkansas, making the situation again dire in spots, and then eventually bringing more rain for us in the River Valley. Well, a full update on this situation tonight in the next 7 days coming up. Yeah, and again, folks, I cannot emphasize this enough. This is absolutely a life-threatening situation for anybody who gets caught in these rising waters. If you're out driving around, you find some flooded roads, just find a different route. You don't know how high that water is going to be, and we are going to see examples like that all over Benton County. And we're going to see it all over Washington County, in particular in Washington County now, because we've seen just loads of rain. I mean, buckets of rain across the Fayetteville area, Springdale area as well over the last hour or so. It's just been raining constantly. It's the heavy stuff, too. And so this is really a concern for us over Springdale, Fayetteville, Rogers, Lowell, the Bentonville area, out toward areas around Beaver Lake where it's been raining pretty consistently toward the Montanay area, toward the War Eagle area, up towards Gateway, Garfield, and out towards areas close to Avoca too, south of Sonora, Springdale. These areas in particular, over the next couple hours, that's where some of the worst flash flooding is going to be. If you live in a low-lying area, you need to find shelter immediately and get to higher ground as quickly as possible. Getting a little bit of a break right now in Huntsville, but more storms coming right back through, and we've got a lot more behind this. Now, for us in the River Valley around Fort Smith and Van Buren, we haven't seen a lot of activity today, but we're seeing new storms start to develop, and we've got this line just off to the west. We're watching this line because not only is it going to bring a lot more rain right back into northwest Arkansas, but it's got that severe threat with it. A lot of severe thunderstorm warnings with this line. It's got a lot of warm, moist air rushing into it. Untapped atmosphere in southeast Oklahoma, so you can see all the hail with these storms. A little bit of hail in northwest Arkansas. But the biggest hail right now with this storm near Gore and moving toward the evening shade area is certainly going to drop some quarter to perhaps golf ball size hail with that one. A little bit of pea size or penny size hail around the Fayetteville area, but nothing terribly big at the moment. Now, as far as more rain totals, you can see from that line, comes right into northwest Arkansas. These are probably underestimates. We could pick up another 1 to 3 inches of additional rain in northwest Arkansas, and honestly quite a bit of rain for us in the Fort Smith Van Buren area too. Probably a little bit of an underestimate you saw right there. So flash flooding, the main concern tonight. Some severe storms, though, certainly possible, and those storms will continue to develop. Now that's through the midnight hour. After midnight, we start to see better conditions, though still spotty showers and storms right into tomorrow morning. Not the flooding rain necessarily, but you can see with their in-house model, again, this pushes through. And tomorrow morning, still some spotty shower and thunderstorm activity right into tomorrow morning in the area before that cold front starts to push out of here. And so by tomorrow afternoon, then we're starting to look a little bit better, though cooler and breezy. Still an isolated shower on Sunday. Bottom line is, though, Sunday will be better and we'll be seeing improving conditions. Cold Monday morning, and then a little drier and a little warmer for us on Monday. To tell us more about that 7-day forecast, we go over to meteorologist Taylor Pinnell.
This is a 4029 Get Ready Weather Alert.
All right, folks, again, a very serious situation with the flooding across northwest Arkansas right now. We do not have any severe thunderstorm warnings or tornado warnings in the area right now. We do have some off to the east and central Arkansas, and we've had some kind of spotted around the area. But right now, primary concern continues to be flash flooding, and we know it's getting worse. Okay, we just talked with the Johnson police. We know that in Johnson right now, they're basically telling people, what they're telling people is do not attempt to get off, don't even attempt to get off the interstate, I-49 for the Johnson exit unless you happen to live very nearby the interstate. You do not want to travel further into Johnson because floodwaters have come up so high at this point that almost the entire town is underwater right now. Now, I don't know exactly what percentage we're talking here, whether it's over 50% or closer to 90 or what it is exactly, but our understanding is at least that a significant portion of the town of Johnson is flooded right now, and there are parts that are so flooded that it is dangerous to come anywhere near. So again, that's kind of what the officials are telling us there in Johnson right now. Now we're getting a lot more rain pushing back into the Bentonville, Rogers area, Lowell as well, and areas of southeast Benton County, again, toward the Montanay area and toward Beaver Lake. Incredible amounts of rain over the last 5 or 6 hours, leading to, we think, widespread flash flooding across this area and throughout the Fayetteville, Springdale area as well. Now, take a look at these rain totals. They just keep coming up, don't they? We just talked to you about 30 minutes ago. Now, estimates of around 10 inches of rain just east of Rogers. Over the last 24 hours, or the last 3 or 4 hours, not quite that high, but we're still talking 2 to 5 inches of rain over the last 3 hours. And near the Johnson area, 9.5 inches of rain. Now, the radar usually overestimates exactly how much rain, overestimates how much rain occurs, but I'd say it's pretty close to that. I would say it's not too far from the 9.5 inch range, and the rain just keeps pouring in to this area of Washington, Benton County. So absolutely still a life-threatening situation. Maybe in fact, now worse than it has been this entire time in some of these areas. Now, certainly not the case for us in northwest Benton County, where we've gotten a decent amount of a break so far the last couple of hours, and some of those waters may be receding, at least in spots, but there's still a lot of high water in Benton County, Delaware, and McDonald County. And of course, we know now also, again, 2 children are missing in the flooding that has gone on in Madison County. So again, just a life-threatening situation. Continuing to push into Franklin County, more rain for us, more rain coming from Madison County. That's going to make the flooding worse for us. On into Carroll County too. Had a decent little storm in the Fort Smith area, but that's pushed off to the north. We've got a lot more rain behind this. We actually just, they issued a new flash flood warning for Tulsa. So obviously this moisture coming out of southeast Oklahoma has obviously a lot of water with it as well. And so we still got to get that to push through later on tonight before we're all said and done. We've got some storms that have developed in northeast Texas, and these are going to roll their way up almost due to the north, eventually into LaFleur County, and eventually we think probably into the Fort Smith area too, and then start to pull east from there. But some of this even could have an impact eventually later tonight on us in northwest Arkansas too. And of course, because of all this, we still have the flash flood warnings again. At this point, almost the entire 4029 viewing area. I've never seen this many flash flood warnings over such a huge area. And again, this is a historic flood, so I guess it can't be too much of a surprise there. But either way, again, in Fort Smith, other parts of the River Valley, we haven't gotten a lot of rain yet. This is preemptive. They issued this because they think, the National Weather Service thinks that we're going to get more rain tonight. We could. There may or may not be flash flooding, but once we get that heavier rain later on tonight, that could certainly still become a concern. So again, we're watching these storms as they continue to push through the area. If you live in a flood-prone area, we're talking to some folks in Johnson earlier that were worried about their family members. You need to call 911. That's the first thing you need to do, and you need to try to get to higher ground as quickly as possible. In the meantime, keep it tuned to 4029, and we'll keep you updated.